Hey, I am on the Little Sugar Creek Greenway today. It is a slippery morning, especially on this bridge that I'm going over. We had some snow and sleet and ice and freezing rain fun yesterday. So it is in the process of thawing. It's funny to look around, or when you're going under the trees, it's like it's raining. It's not though. It's just from all the water melting off the trees. So I had a different hike planned for myself for today. And I was excited about it because it was going to be my first time that I could remember that I drove by myself with nobody else with me and was doing a hike that I just had picked by myself to do. I've always, since I've had my son, had him with me. So I felt like it was going to be a new adventure for me today. Our plans changed in part because of the weather and things like that going on. So we ended up having to find a good spot for him to do his training for his half marathon while I got my hike in. So I was struggling a little bit to consider this a hike because it's mostly paved. And I don't usually consider those much of a hike. To me, they're just a walk, which is still wonderful. But it's a greenway, so it has a lot of green going on. There's a lot of trees. We're going along, I think it's called the Sugar Creek. So it's pretty. Let's see. You can see some of the remnants of the snow and other precipitation over there. Quite pretty. So I decided to embrace today as a whole different kind of adventure. So just different than I had planned, but it's actually something that I've been growing in anyway, to just adapt and appreciate where I am and find joy in whatever I end up doing, even if it's different than what I had originally planned. So that's where I am today. I'm adventuring out to claim this as my 6th hike of the year. So good to feel the sunshine today. I have a buddy walking with me today. Lulu's wearing her jacket. The South Carolina dog doesn't necessarily feel prepared for the cold weather. Gotta keep her warm. I love that she's always ready for an adventure. As soon as I ask her if she wants to go for a walk or a car ride, she's on board. She's right next to me, ready to go. I get really excited for people though when they're embracing whatever adventure means to them. I have a friend and her family, it's her husband and her daughter and her, they aren't really campers. They've done hotels or a little bit of glamping. I loved that they joined us for a camping trip in the fall. It was so much fun. They said, all right, we're ready for the adventure, bring it on. And good news is they said they'd like to go again, so that was fun. But it's awesome to see her embrace her sense of adventure and push the limits of her daughter and her husband a little bit. They always create amazing memories. They have a trip planned to go to some national parks for their spring break. And their big debate has been how much of a hike can they actually do in some of the places. And so I love that they're wanting to push themselves. So they're feeling that real sense of adventure while they're out there. So pretty awesome. It's been awesome to see my parents embrace their idea of adventure over the last couple years. They're now both retired and they have grandkids, but they don't have any kids at home anymore. So of course it's always an adventure to them to see the grandkids, and we love getting to spend time with them. But it's been really cool to see them develop their ideas of adventure and go out and do the things that just are exciting to them and just help them feel alive. So whatever trip it might be, or visit, or day adventure, little hike, or whatever they get out and do together, I have loved seeing that. They spent so many years with my dad especially working long hours, and my mom taking care of so many of the other things and working, that they did a fantastic job coordinating to get everything done and take care of us as kids. But they definitely didn't have that time to do their own adventuring. So it's really fun to be able to see that now, and it's been such a refreshing reminder to me, because I'm in the phase of most everything I'm doing still is for my son, that like, oh no, yeah, enjoy it all now, because it won't stay around, and then you'll get to find those new adventures when he's off finding his own. So it's been really good to see them put that into action, because I've had that idea in my mind, but then, ideas might not feel like what will be reality. But that's been encouraging. So embracing wherever we are, that's the adventure of the day. Enjoying each moment for what it is. So my son's 13 now. He's only going to be 13 the one time, so we're taking it all in. So that was why our plan shifted for the day, because of what he had to do for scouts and his training. So yeah, we're out here together though, in a sense. I think adventure is so important because it's one of those things that feeds your soul and makes you feel alive. That's why it's so cool, because everybody's adventure can be different, but it's going to have the same effect on the person if they're feeling that adventure. So I always think it's fun to swap stories, share about the different adventures that we're going on with others, so we get to hear about theirs. That's something that's always fun to me. You get to see people's wheels turn in their mind as they're reliving those moments. And I love that feeling of being able to go back and feel like I'm there doing it again. And all the emotion and excitement and lessons learned are so fun to relive. So I have a cousin that I don't get to see very often, but we stay in touch with messages and phone calls, and it's fun to stay in touch with the messages, but I definitely enjoy the phone calls when we're able to just chat. And he shares with me about his adventures, and they are different adventures than mine just because of our interests. And he is blind, so his adventures are going to be different as well, but he shows that real adventurous spirit by the things that he still gets out and does, going sailing or hiking, he makes sure he finds opportunities to do these things with others, and I just admire that so much. I think it's cool. He doesn't let anything hold him back, and he always finds adventure in his experiences singing, which I cannot do in any way. So I can't quite understand it in that sense, but I understand the passion that I hear in his voice when he tells me about it, and the joy that he experiences. And it's the same thing that I'm sure he hears in my voice when I'm telling about the hikes or the camping or the other things that I'm getting out to do. The new things with Caden. I know he sees that as I'm filled with joy because each day is a new adventure. He's definitely hard to see from here on the camera. I'm thinking he's a great blue heron, but I'm not really sure. Sitting on the edge though of the water there. I don't usually see him quite hunched over like that, so it looks throwing me off a little bit maybe. But he doesn't even look like he's looking for fish or anything right now. He looks like he's just enjoying the sun. He found a good spot to hang out. That's so fun. Love the sound of that water. Hear the airplanes in the back too, but the sound of the water coming down is so fun. So relaxing. So think about some things that invigorate you. Oh, there's so many birds flying around. There's a really bright eastern bluebird that just flew by. Looks even more bright with the sun on him. But what invigorates you? What makes you feel alive? What makes you feel excited for what is to come next? What helps you feel like you can do something that maybe you didn't expect? What are things that you enjoy sharing with others? Some of these might be things that you like to do by yourself, experience it on your own, and then go to share it with others. Might be things that you enjoy most when you're with somebody else, to share the excitement. Your idea of adventure will probably shift a little bit as time goes on. It's probably shifted since years past. I know mine has, but it's fun to look back, reflect on what that has been in different stages of life, and what I've learned from each of those different kinds of adventures, and helps me look forward to what will be to come with future adventures. So when Caden was younger, an adventure might have been just a short walk around some trees. We love to go around and identify trees or watch birds or something like that. We wouldn't cover too much distance. Then years later, my greatest love, my greatest passion for adventure was traveling in our car, camping in our car, sleeping in our car, just going from one place to the next, usually only in the same place for one night, occasionally two. And each day getting a big hike in or seen something that amazed us. But those were some amazing memories that Caden and I created, and we love looking back on. Now in this phase of life, that doesn't necessarily make the most sense to do, but little day trips are awesome. Camping trips are always amazing. Some hiking. We've integrated the climbing, biking. Those things are all really fun to do. And to be honest, I find most enjoyment when I'm doing these things with other people. And that was why I mentioned that one of my ideas for new adventure was me going on a hike by myself today, because I just don't usually do that. So for most of these adventures now, have Caden and Caleb, and it's so fun. But even though we're all in the same place, might not all be right in the exact same location. Just like Caden and I today on this trail, he's going further than I am because he's running. So while we're both in the same place, we're having our own adventures here. And so in the end, we'll meet back and share about how it went. I'm sure he's going to tell me about the slippery spots on the trail, but I saw no skid marks so far, no tumble downs, so he must have made it through them. When we go climbing, we might all three climb the same route, but it's a different experience for each of us, and each of us have our own growth in those moments of adventure, and then we all feel motivated to continue on with the next. So embrace whatever you come to. Try it out to see if it's an adventure for you. Then reflect on that adventure. How does it make you feel? How do those feelings stick with you? And what do you learn about the world and about yourself going through those adventures? Seen the same guy run by me multiple times. He must just be doing very short down and backs. I'm not sure. You never know what you'll find on the trail. I'll see you next time on the trail with Heart.